Hi everybody, here we are again. We're the Real Estate Chicks, and we are from Barrington, Illinois. I'm Kathy Pincus with RE/MAX of Barrington.
And I'm Judy Gibbons with RE/MAX of Barrington.
And we are the Real Estate Chicks coming to you live to talk about...
jazz hands.
Yay! Because you got to be creative.
Yeah, yes.
We're being creative ways to buy a home. If you just haven't been able to get that down payment together, or if you see these interest rates starting to go up and you want to make sure you're on the bandwagon, I mean, you know what it really amounts to? Look at how much you pay for rent every month.
Yeah.
I mean, I promise you, whatever you're paying for rent, you could buy something with, I don't care how much square footage you have. If you have 700 square feet, you can go out and buy a condo for 700 square feet.
Oh, yeah. And
pay probably, certainly, maybe the same amount, maybe less. And it just behooves you to get out there and get into ownership.
Yeah, and kind of think beyond the little square box, because that's where, they always talk about in times of recession and the people that end up being gazillionaires at the end of the day are doing, and they just think outside the box and find, owner financing. That is huge. Remember when we went to that seminar and they were talking, they had people in the audience actually stand up and say who's purchased investment property with owner financing. Say about 20 people stood up out of, 200. And then they asked how many had to put a down payment down. I think it was like 0 or 1 person. And then how many people actually even checked your credit? Ah, yikes.
None.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. It was like, I want to know these people.
Yeah, what a deal. So
what a deal.
If you think you can't be a buyer in today's market, you just need to find, the person that can do the financing for you.
Well, and it comes too with finding an agent that's educated in these types of things. Listen, we all work very hard, but when you're talking about seller financing with an agent, that agent needs to know exactly what you're talking about, because what you really are talking about is having a seller who has some equity in their home that they're able to handle some financing for you, whether it's interest rates or helping your payment or whatever the case may be, helping your down payment. The funny thing for me too is I'm still so surprised by people thinking they have to put down 20% to buy a home. Yeah. And that is such old school, not even old school, it's just outdated information, and it's just so outdated that it just hurts me to see somebody think they have to wait to spend 20% to put down.
Right.
I just had a conversation with someone on my way here who said, well, I can put 20% down, but then I can't afford to do this, this, that, and the other thing. And I said, well, why are you putting down 20%? Well, don't you have to? And I said, but think about it. People buy a house on average of what, 1 in 7 years, I think is the statistic. And when you don't do things for 7 years, you just don't remember.
And the banks there for a while were kind of being, a little tough. And I mean, jumbo loans obviously are different.
And what? Jumbo who?
Oh yeah, really.
What is that?
She got me there.
We don't get jumbo loans anymore. No, they are getting a little bit better, but yeah. I'm sorry.
I was like, huh?
You look like the deer in the headlights. What did I say?
Yeah. But, and then you've got FHA loans, which we love. That's our, product.
And people
that's our drug of choice.
I'll have an FHA, please. I'm making a double.
Making a double.
A big one.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Oh, Lord.
And then another great creative way is, how about ask your family for some money?
Well, how about it?
How about it? 1 ringy dingy, 2 ringy dingy.
Hello? Are you still there?
Why is my call always going to voicemail? No one ever picks up the phone when I call. But there might be somebody out there that loves you extra special and has wants to buy you up. You just don't know. And their money actually. Another real creative way is, and I have to say I've never done this, but I just heard about this, a deal where someone comes in with a lower offer on a property, and they'll to the seller, and then says, listen, in the next 4 years, if it increases past this dollar amount, say like they're buying it for $2 million, and they say in 4 years, if I can sell it for another, $1 million, so $3 million,
yeah,
we'll cut you in on that increase. So,
wow,
is that cool?
That's very cool.
You know what? This is for, okay,
you
obviously
tricks up your sleeve,
yeah.
purple chick.
And, of course, this is for big wheeler dealers,
yeah.
I would say, because that's the people that can afford to not have their money all at once. And I thought, no, this is, an investment group that's thinking like that. I thought,
that does, I like that.
Yeah, because it makes a seller who's actually getting really beaten up.
And they are.
Not feel quite as bad. And then it's like hedging your bet kind of thing. So you take the offer, you're out of the property, you don't have the upkeep of it, but you can join in the gains if there's some miracle that happens in the next.
There's some gains to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you hope that everybody is still alive and kicking in that.
Well, you've got to have a super duper lawyer.
Yeah, you do. You have to get somebody. You've got to have it locked in, baby.
Yeah, you got to use like who Donald Trump uses.
Right. Yeah. That one. Yeah. But no, you make a good point. The point is to be creative, and that's a creative way to do something. And I do find a lot of. I've seen some of my clients who do something really creative, and I'm like, wow, why did I think of that?
Oh yeah.
And I'll put that in my little book of knowledge.
Yes, a little book to go back on. And I also love the idea of sometimes trading homes.
I do like that.
If you've got the big house that you don't want, and they've got the smaller house, of course, using a realtor to do that.
Oh yeah.
But there's a way to do it, and
absolutely that is I've seen that happen a couple of times, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Right.
Neat stuff. Yeah. See, just stick with us. The Chics we're creative. We got the juices flowing.
Yes, we do.
We do. So the other thing is, you can do the lease with an option to buy.
Right.
I mean, that gets a little. Well, it's sort of like what you were saying. It depends on what it's going to be worth 3 years from now, because when you're on the selling side of that, if you decide on a number and then 3 years later it's worth a lot more, well, you sort of feel.
Yeah, but you're getting cash flow every month, and you've got it, the headache.
And you have it sold,
Right, and if the person that was going to have the option can't fulfill their part of the deal, you get the property back.
Exactly.
So you've made money.
And all the money, right? Yep.
So you've been paying your mortgage and so not a bad deal. But again, you need a very good attorney to do that and figure out all the math. Don't worry, realtors out there. You don't have to figure out what the price is per month.
Let the big guys take care of that.
That's why they get the big bucks.
Right. So do you have a sassy quote for us today?
Of course I do. Let's see. Always remember you are absolutely unique, just like everybody else.
Well, isn't that just the dearest thing? And we are unique.
Yes.
And we thank you so much for joining us. And again, we are sponsored by abernook.com. Go to Abernook and look for some cool gifts like we were showing on our last show. We've got these cool pins. And they've got so many cool things. And right now their big season is coming up with graduation and Mother's Day. So go to abernook.com and check them out. Thanks again for joining us, everybody.